What is going on, everybody? This is Chad. Welcome back to the Dorky AM40 channel. Today we are going to be taking a look at the Helios 300 gaming PC laptop. This is one of the hottest laptops that you can get right now. You are hard pressed to find a better laptop for performance and price than this Helios right here. What a big thanks and shout out to all of the viewers and subscribers to the channel. Let's get on with this video here. First thing, there are links to this laptop and the NVMe SSD drive that I have placed in here for some expansion in the description below. The price on this thing changes all the time. Right now it's at $10.99, but Amazon has ran this laptop on sale for $9.99, and it could be even cheaper this holiday season. It is a bargain. I've been using this for about a month now, and it's just fantastic. It's leaps and bounds from what gaming laptops were, I think 7-8 years ago when I purchased my first Alienware. We take a look at the Amazon page here. You can see that this is the late 2019 edition that I have with the full 1080p 144 hertz screen, IPS display, which is just beautiful. You can see so much detail. The contrast variations are just amazing. This looks better than my 1440p MSI display that I use to game on here on the desktop. This also has an Intel i7-9750, which is its 9th generation processor. All the cores boost up on this to almost 4 gigahertz. With the click of the little Predator Sense turbo button, it will also overclock the GTX 1660 Ti, with 6 gigabytes on there, 16 gigabytes of DDR4. This model here does come with a 256 NVMe SSD drive, but I have since expanded that. There is a second M.2 slot on the motherboard, real easy. I'll show you where that's at. Go ahead and plug in. This is the crucial drive that I have in there. So now I have 1 terabyte of storage as well, and it does come with an expansion bay. If you've seen any reviews or anything else on this laptop, where you can also add another SSD full-sized drive if you would like. The memory is also expandable. It comes with one single DIMM, a 16 gigabyte DDR4, but you can add a second or a new pair. So this is it here on the bench. Pretty gaming looking, not too bad. A lot of people say that it's not stealthy enough looking if you are trying to use this as an everyday driver or something possibly in the boardroom, but it does not look that bad. This logo here does light up. You do not have the option to turn that off. These are just markings that are on there. Can't do anything about that. We've got plenty of expansion. We've got USB 3 ports. We've got everything except for a Thunderbolt 3 port, and it also has a full-size RJ45 for Ethernet connection. A couple close-up shots of the I/O ports for you. On the back, we've got 2 heat sinks right there, and also on the sides, each one has one. As you can see, I'm not set up perfectly here for technology reviews, but that's okay. The hinge on this, a lot of people like to talk about hinges. You can open and close it real easy with just one finger. The weight of everything is really great. It's made out of some kind of aluminum that's anodized or something, of course. It's a fingerprint magnet. It's not too bad, though. A lot of people talk about how bad that is. I think that's just kind of par for the course with all of these laptops here today. Go ahead and fire the laptop up here so you guys can take a look at everything. The boot speed on this is super fast. You can see right there, right off the bat, we're already booted into Windows. And after entering in my password, we are set up and ready to go. This 2019 model here particularly does have 4-zone RGB lighting. Not sure if you can see that or not. So I have mine addressed blue, 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 and red. It's not super bright, which is a good thing, in my opinion. At idle, the laptop runs super quiet. If you want to get into gaming though, you're going to have to plug it in, and you're going to have to be running in turbo mode if you're running a lot of today's titles, especially those AAA titles. It's all done simply by pressing the turbo button on here, which will overclock that GPU for you, kick all the fans into the full max. I have played around with it, and you can pull the fans down a little bit, maybe to about 80%, but that really doesn't seem to make a whole lot of difference. It's just loud, period. So it's just what you have to deal with if you want to be in gaming and on the run. The sound on the laptop is not that great. The speakers are in the front and they downfire, but most of us are probably going to be gaming with headphones or headsets anyway, so it's really not that big of a concern. Things that I just love, the keyboard and everything is just fantastic. I've had no problems with it gaming at all. It feels almost as good as using a full-sized keyboard. The mouse, of course, I do use an external mouse when I am gaming, so I have no problems with that. A lot of people are using this as a desktop replacement, so you could even run a laptop cooler underneath this. They've got really cool ones with RGB and everything like that built into them, so that way you can just kind of prop this up and get a little bit more airflow, because it is pulling air from the underneath and then spitting it out the sides and the back in order to get the best cooling possible. On Battlefront 2, you'll see here, and also on like games like Call of Duty, Modern Warfare 5, Battlefield 5, things like that. On all of the big titles, I'm usually running anywhere between 80 and 120 frames. I like to run my settings at most settings on high. The GeForce Experience has selected Ultra on a lot of the games, so the 1660 Ti is capable of running things like that. Just no problems at all. But you can see in a 21 degree ambient temperature, just playing here, that my CPU is running around 78 degrees, 76, and the GPU around 60. Most temps are around 80 on the CPU and around 65 on the GPU, which is just fine. These things can go really high now, so you don't have any kind of problems at all. So I did leave the fan running on during that demonstration. Some people might not like that, but you could hear it cutting in and out. Now, literally, the laptop is sitting away from the Blue Yeti microphone like that far. So that's what you could expect to hear. But this is something, again, that you probably aren't going to play while your kids and everybody else are trying to watch TV. You're going to probably need to be somewhere else, or they're just going to have to deal with the actual sound coming out of the laptop when you are gaming. So let's switch gears and talk about battery power. Off of battery power, you're probably going to get about an hour of gaming if you are required a title that does not require overclocking. Some people have said longer, but I'm going to say an hour. Productivity wise, watching YouTube and everything like that, you're probably looking at around 2.5 to 3 hours. This only has a 57 watt hour battery in it, so it's a little bit smaller, but they have chosen to go with performance over portability because everybody is probably going to be using this as gaming or a desktop replacement, and they're going to be plugged in. Also, when we talk about disassembly, all you have to do, little Phillips screwdrivers, you've got screws all along here and 2 in the middle. This literally just pops up. There's no cables underneath here at all that you have to worry about. Just pop it right up. Your memory's going to be here. Both your M.2 drives are going to be there, and the hard drive expansion bay is in one of these corners here. Trying to make this review short and to the point of things that I love and that I don't like. There's really not much to say that I don't like about this laptop. It really is what it is. Everything runs fantastic. It's a little noisy, but they all are. It's a little heavy, but they all are. The best thing about this is the price. You cannot beat it, especially if you could pick one up for $1,000 on some kind of Amazon deal. There's a lot of reviews that are out there on YouTube. You can go and check those out and everything, but I wanted to give just a personal experience, one-on-one view of somebody that doesn't review these regularly. I'm just like you. I watched a bunch of reviews and made a choice finally to pick one up, and I don't regret this decision at all. There really isn't anything I would change about this just looking at it here. It's just a perfect setup, and it's even perfect, like I said, as a desktop replacement because there is plenty of power to go around inside of this. The 1660 Ti is fine for every game that's out there right now. You can bump your settings down, like I said, a little bit and gain more frames to take advantage of that 144 hertz refresh rate. One touch overclocking works fantastic, does everything for you. There's no messing about with afterburner or anything like that. It comes undervolted, so that way the temperatures are kept in check. And Asus has also even taken it a step further, and they have focused on what kind of thermal compound they're using, which is Arctic Silver, Arctic Fox, and they are also, but they've made a conscious decision to make sure that the spread on the thermal paste is as good as you can get. So you're not going to have to take these apart when you get them, repaste them, liquid metal, all that kind of stuff. Everything is set up out of the box, ready to go. Perfect example right here. I've been running mine heavily for at least a month, and my temperatures have changed absolutely zero. They have been working perfectly. I've had no problems updating to the latest Windows and the latest NVIDIA game ready drivers. So again, guys, links are in the description below. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a shout out. Look for more videos coming here. Working on some FPV stuff as usual and some models, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks.